Hey guys, welcome to another video. This is Bro the Handyman, and today we're going to be building a chicken feeder. Uh, I don't, if you ever experienced chickens and those little guys, and then you dump the feed into the trough, and then they just put it all over the place, and all that feed that goes in place. One, it's wasted. Two, you got added flies. Uh, so, so today we're going to get a 5-gallon bucket, basically what we're going to do, and put a bunch of outlets going all the way around it so they have multiple places of getting that feed. I did make one in the past and I only had 4 outlets, which the number of chickens we had, it was alright, it worked well. But now we have a bunch of chickens. I think we have 3 dozen chickens. Some of you guys out there probably have more than that. I know what I'm talking about how much mess they make. So and then we also have about 12.5 ducks. So we got a lot of egg layers over there. So we're gonna go ahead and hook up a little deal where they can feed from it, and it's a convenient way of getting feed to them without wasting. So you want to learn how it's done? Keep on watching. I'll teach you. Alright guys, here we are at the bench. And I got my 5-gallon bucket. And basically what I did was, I took me a mark, and I went all the way around it. 8 places. So I started in the center focal point right here. And I did about 2 3/8 of an inch up. And this doesn't have to be 100% precise, but this is just how I did it. Alright, so took these 2 marks right here, and then that's half. So I went right in the middle of them, made a mark for that one. Did the same thing for this side. Made a mark where that one is. And made a mark for this one. And then those 4 marks, I went in between them. About halfway in between those. Halfway in between those. All the way around. If it's off a little bit, it won't hurt nothing. No one's going to be coming over to grade them. Okay, so, and what I did was I took, here it is. I bought the 2-inch 45-degree street one, meaning they have where you can slip onto the back side. If you get the other one where they have both sides are the same like this, they're cheaper. But I think they just takes more work. But then again, you could make them work. I probably should have bought them anyway. So basically what I did is I took them and right here at this line cut them off. I didn't intend on that, but if you stick them in the bucket, then you run out of room. The 4 would work just like this. But then when you go to put 8, it doesn't, and you got to trim them down. So I went ahead and just trimmed them all down. So what I did was, okay, so these are 2-inch 45s. And so what I did was I took a 2 1/4, which these are 2 3/8. So we can go ahead and drill them now. You could probably use almost anything. I used a hole saw. And I'm gonna get to it in a little bit why I used 2 1/4 inch hole saw. Okay. All right, so from here, what I did was I'll go ahead and cut this one down too. I took my heat gun and I just went around. I did one at a time. Just a few laps. You don't want to totally weaken your bucket. That's how it's looking in the inside. So I skip a hole. I think skipping a hole gives the other one time to harden back up, or cooling down, if you will. See, and those little lip right here is perfect because once you slide it over, it stays in that spot. I'm gonna go ahead and put a clip in here on how it was working. The old one, it's basically the same, just this one has more outlets. That's all, twice as many outlets. My old one had 4, this one has 8. And since I'm making 2, we'll have 16 outlets instead of just the 4 we had previously. So, there you go. There's the center of it. You can see how that works. They'll go in there, and then the feed will go in, and then they'll pick their head in there. Since it's a 2-inch opening, they don't have a problem putting their head in and pulling them out. Now, if there was something smaller, like per se, let's see. Oh, look, I got another piece right here. But these are 1.5 inches. See how small these are? They don't put their head in these. But they do work well for the baby chicks. The baby chicks can get their little head in there and eat from there like that. So these work good for the chicks, and as they get bigger, they'll have these. So we have a separate section put off for the chicks as we do for the chickens. So they have their own little feeder, so can try to minimize mess and waste, and then they have a lot more feed at one single time. And so I go from just having this bucket, instead of having a lid like this, I cut it so like this. And so basically I put a 4-inch hole, put a coupling at the bottom, and sandwich it in between the coupling and the 45. I also put a bead of caulking to try to help from moisture getting on the inside, weather. And I put a 4-inch pipe here. I put another 45 like this, and I put another pipe coming up, and then from there they'll have a 4-inch cap that sits on top. It's all glued, so there's no water that goes in between it, so it keeps it all dry. Don't have any, I haven't had any problems with, been having one of these for quite a few years, and I have not had a problem with it getting molded and going bad. So it is under a covered area, so it's not like rain does. I guess rain could get in the bottom part here, but I haven't had any problems with that. So yeah, that's what we do. That's how we make it. So now we're gonna go ahead and finish putting a pipe through here. The last one I made it was a foot and 9 inches, the actual pipe. That includes the pipe that went into the fittings, and we hooked it through. So we're gonna go ahead and put the pipe in, and I'll be back and we'll install it. I got you.